Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As I promised, I'm going to talk about how I study for my exams since it's exam season here in Canada and I'm pretty sure all over the world. But I'm going to make this video super short and simple and fast because I have my first exam in 2 days and I still need to edit this video and get it out for you guys. And I have my second exam in 5 days, okay? So I want to get straight to the point and I don't want to waste your time and I don't want to waste my time either. So this video is going to be divided in 3 categories. The first category would be how I take notes. I'm not going to go really deep into that because you should be done with your notes by now since you're studying for exams. But if you're not, don't worry girl, I'm not judging you. We listen and we don't judge, okay? I'm not judging you. But yeah, I'm gonna show you how I take notes just in case you're not done with your notes. And then I'm gonna talk about how I study for my exams super fast, super quickly. I don't use all of these weird technical techniques. I'm not gonna go into the technicalities of the different ways, the diverse ways of studying for exams. I am a very simple person. I stick to simple things and make it as efficient as possible. But the last part of the video is the most crucial part of the video, and it's the part that I really want you guys to listen to and to apply it when you start studying for exam. Okay? I hear a lot of people say you studied so hard for this exam, you put all your effort into it, you used all of these different techniques and you still got a bad grade, or you're still not satisfied with your grade. Well, let me tell you something, it's all because of the last step that everyone skips. I don't know how you can skip it. It's so simple and it's so
what's the word?
It's so obvious, okay? So I'm gonna put timestamps down below. You can skip through whatever you want, but listen to the last step. Alright, let's go. Alright, so how do I take notes? I have struggled with taking notes for as long as I can remember because of this simple fact. I used to put the same energy into my easy classes as I would put into my difficult classes. Do not do that, especially when it comes to taking notes. Note taking can be really hard sometimes since you have to take a lot of notes, especially in university, okay? It gets really tiring, especially for your wrist, especially for your posture, and you just start to burn out. And then guess what? You stop taking notes. And then when you have to study for exams, you need to catch up on all your notes. And that just takes a lot of time out of your actual studying. So I'm going to talk about this really fast just so that you guys get the concepts. You can customize it however you like, depending on what classes you have or what you're majoring in. Because like, I cannot relate to a health science kid, okay? My classes are very different from health science. I am currently majoring in disaster and emergency management and potentially doing a double major in finance and economics. But yeah. You can use the same concepts but customize it to your program. So this is how I take my notes. I divide my classes in 3. The first category would be my easy classes. These are classes that, you know, the information is simple, straightforward. Basically, the teacher presents off her slides. Very simple, okay? Medium classes would be a mix of both hard and easy classes. It would be like the teacher presents off her slides, but you also have textbook readings. Yeah, just like medium classes. They're not too easy, but they're not too hard, okay? Medium classes. And then I have my hard classes, and these are classes that are hard. And this includes my program classes. So I have 3 categories: easy classes, medium classes, and hard classes. Hard classes are also my programs classes. Programs classes would be, for example, I'm a business student. My programs classes would be, I don't know, marketing, accounting. Those are program classes. So now, how do I take notes for all of these categories? So for my easy classes, I do not write my notes on paper ever because that is wasting too much time. So for my easy classes, I always take my notes on my computer. For my medium classes, I either take my notes on computer or on my tablet. I rarely write my notes on paper for my medium classes because writing notes on paper in general is time consuming. It takes a lot of effort, okay? to write your notes on paper, especially if you're presented with a lot of information. So I mostly stick to my computer or my tablet when it comes to note writing. And then for my hard classes and program classes, I use my notebooks, my beautiful, beautiful notebooks that I got from Muji. These are the notebooks. It comes in a pack of 5 and they're very thin. The papers are like, what's it called? Transfer proof? Leak proof papers. I write double-sided and it does not show on the other side of the paper. These are very light and very affordable, so I urge you to go get them. They're very small as well. They're not like the big notebooks. So yeah, I use these to take my notes for my hard classes as well as my program classes, because I want to keep my program classes notes forever, okay? If I'm putting thousands of dollars into getting a degree, into getting all of this information, I want to keep the information with me. I hope this makes sense. Yeah, summary. Easy classes, I write my notes on my computer. Medium classes, I write my notes on my computer or tablet. And program classes as well as hard classes, I write on paper. Okay, now we're going to talk about how I study for my exams. So the first step to studying for your exams is to create an outline.
So I'm going to share my outline template with you guys that I literally made in 5 minutes because I have to study for my exam. By the way, if you hear any purring in the background, it's my kittens. So first I write the title, which is the class name, and I make sure to also add the percentage of the exam because that is what motivates me to keep working and keep studying and keep memorizing, because it is literally 50% of my overall grade. I also make sure to write the time, date, and location of the exam because I missed my exam once and it was absolutely horrible and I do not want that again, so I make sure to write it. Then I write the format of the exam. For example, one of my exams has 50 multiple choice questions as well as 5 case studies. So I make sure to write down this information so that I can study and be prepared accordingly. Then I create a checklist of all the chapters I have to go through. For example, chapter 5, chapter 6, and chapter 7. I also create more checklists under each chapter for everything that I have to complete. For example, if I have any readings, if I have any worksheets, if there's any concept related to that chapter that I really need to know and that I'm sure that the professor will test us on. So basically an outline is just a bunch of checklist items that I have to complete. And then one important thing that I add to my checklist is a note section that basically organizes everything together. For example, if I have limited days until my exams, I will make sure to organize what I will do every single day so that I get everything done. For example, here you can see that I wrote that I have 4 days until my exam. I'm going to be doing 1 chapter a day and I'm going to be reading 1 textbook reading a day. And you can literally customize this template according to your needs because I know every single class or program is different, so organize it accordingly.
So basically it's just where you organize everything and you figure out how you're going to study for it. That's what the outline is supposed to be. Okay, it organizes everything, and when you see that everything is organized and you're going to follow your outline, right, you start getting less stressed to study because you've got it all figured out in paper. Okay, this is just like journaling. Now for my exams, I don't use any special techniques. I do know someone who talks about techniques. Ali Abdal has a 2-hour long video explaining all the different techniques when it comes to studying, so I'm gonna link that down below as well. But I'm very simple when it comes to studying for exams. If I need to memorize anything, I use Quizlet or any kind of cue cards platform, just because I'm always on the go somewhere. Like if I'm taking the train, or if I'm in the car or on the bus, I just take my phone out and I just go through all my notes, and it gets easier to memorize since you're going over them every 2 seconds. Another way that I memorize, especially when it comes to very hard concepts, is by writing things down again and again and again and again. It makes the information locked in my head and it cannot run anywhere. So as you can see, my exam studying techniques are very simple. I don't put a lot of energy into different techniques. I just make sure to memorize things correctly and to have all the materials that I need that is covered in the exam. Very simple, very straightforward. But that's because I put a lot of energy into the last step. So here is the reveal for the last step that everyone seems to skip. And that is to simply test yourself. The last step is all about testing yourself. Because why would you go to an exam and let the exam test you before you even tested yourself? It's that simple, that simple. Test yourself before the exam tests you. I have two ways that I test myself before the exam tests me. The first way is while you're reading your notes or while you're writing your notes, you're going to have a separate piece of paper beside you and you're going to write questions. For example, any important definitions, any important concepts or theories, anything you think the teacher will test you about. These are my questions that I made for myself. This is chapter 7. This is chapter 8. I also put the slide numbers next to it if I need more context for the questions. And I don't look at them until I'm done every single thing, okay? Until I'm done memorizing, using Quizlet, all of those techniques that you want to incorporate while you're studying. After that, you're going to take your questions and you will test yourself. If you find yourself struggling, go study more. If you ace this easily, you are ready for your exam. And then when you go to your exams, you feel less stressed because you've already done an exam at home, okay? And you've aced it. So what are you stressed about? Okay? So this is the most important thing you can do when it comes to studying. Now, the second way, I use ChatGPT. So yeah, ChatGPT is great because you're not putting a lot of effort into writing your questions. You can basically upload your presentation or your notes to ChatGPT and you can ask him to write any kind of questions. You can tell him to write a case study for you. You can tell him to make multiple choice questions for you. You can ask him to make short answers questions for you. Like any kind of questions you will have on the exam. And you do them again and again until you feel confident about the materials. So yeah, this is how I divide my time when it comes to studying for exams. 10% of my time is spent on taking notes. 30 to 40% is spent on actually studying and memorizing. And then 50% is testing yourself. Because I also find that testing yourself is another way to memorize. Now, before I end this video, I just want to say that the best way to get yourself motivated to study for your exams is by romanticizing it. Literally, go bake yourself some brownies, put on some nice Christmas music because it is December, light a candle if you can, get yourself a nice cup of coffee, and yeah, just romanticize it. I hope this video made sense. It is my first sit-down video, I think. And I made things as simple as possible. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions, ask them down below and I will try to answer them. But yeah, see you next time. I hope you have an amazing day and I hope you ace your exam.